Do you think his mechanics have progressed at all since he got here?
I don't think so. They were not good against the Vikings. I mean, this is the same stuff that you heard him coming out of USC, out of UNC. All the quarterback experts, whether it's Chris Sims or, Greg Cosell or whoever, like they all said, because his mechanics are so sloppy, his feet, some of it, his throwing motion is still wonky. I don't like it, but, I guess I'm going to have to get used to it. But he misses like these bunny throws. I mean, that throw to Demario Douglas was easy. The first pass of the game to Mac Hollins was easy, and he's lucky Mac Hollins is like 6'4". The pass to the sideline when he missed 2 open touchdown passes, that was high to Mac Hollins. If he's not 6'4", he doesn't catch that. And we're through 2 preseason games, and you watch around the league. I mean, even Caleb Williams the other night looked dynamite going up against the Bills' backups. Drake's faced the backups in both preseason games, and what's he done? He ran for a 3rd down against the Commanders, ran for a touchdown. Both times, I thought he had opportunities to throw the ball down the field. And then his one play against the Vikings was, when he rolled out to his right, and he missed 2, Demario Douglas and Kyle Williams, who were open for possible touchdowns.
The voice of Greg Bedard on 98.5 The Sports Hub, dismantling Drake Maye. Now, Greg had the Patriots at 11 wins prior to camp, right?
Prior to camp.
Since watching these couple preseason games and what he's seen in camp, and you hear him talking about Drake Maye there, he dropped them down to 8 and 9 now.
Oh, the rage.
Dramatic.
Oh, sorry. Look, okay. Well,
how do you really feel, Case?
Let's pedal back for a second here. Let's test our own hamstrings. 11 was already kind of like, if this team came in, surprised us,
yes.
like, wow, 11 wins.
Right.
The initial conversation was surpassing 5. The middle ground here was 7, 8, maybe 9. So when you're looking at 7 to 9 wins and then you're coming on being like, look at this destruction. You're not going to get 11 wins as a rebuild team in a new era with whatever offensive line. I got to make sure that I keep everything appropriate because I'm just like, what the heck? What the heck?
Yeah, this is why I stay on our good side, folks. You see this.
Just make it make sense for me, 11 wins is ridiculous. Drake Maye is playing behind an offensive line that's playing musical chairs themselves. Bradbury, who you brought in to be your stout centerman, is having struggles, reported over and over and over again.
Facts.
We're talking about relationship and chemistry, so he doesn't even have a relationship with his center. That keeps changing. Then there's struggles. The veteran can't be the veteran for you. And mechanics and some of these other things have come into play, but you can only polish off so many things when there's so much going on around you between establishing a new intricate system for one, and for two, you have an untrustworthy offensive line. Now, when it comes to the high throws, I was watching the game. He did have good protection. The pocket did not collapse on him when he got rid of that ball and it went too high. But you can also see, and tell me if I'm wrong here, you can see where, what do they say? Whenever something's hurting you, you kind of overcompensate, right? Some of these young quarterbacks, when they have so much chaos going on as they're trying to establish and find themselves, they start to overcompensate. What's the first thing that they do? Build this relationship with the tight end. You're 6'4", you're 6'5", you're 6'6" guy that you can throw it up that helps you make these plays. So he has to curtail some bad habits here, and we're talking training camp. But 11 wins to the doom and gloom of 9 wins.
Yeah, listen, this is why in one show, Casey has shown you everything. I mean, she was a lawyer just now. Earlier in the program, she was a business CEO. She said, no, I'm not giving you a first rounder. I'll give you a second rounder, and I'll pay him. But I mean, she has shown you everything she has.
It's only Wednesday. This is too much. I'm sorry, Boston. This is a lot for a Wednesday.
We're only halfway through the week, folks. But I will say this. She's absolutely right on everything. I agree with you. It's one of the reasons why I believe he's actually the franchise quarterback. A lot of things that Greg said here are the reasons why I do believe Drake Maye is. No offensive line to speak of. No grown-up coaching staff last year in your rookie year to speak of.
Yeah.
And you still showed me enough. You still showed me you could play. Now, the things we're seeing now are growing pains. What you just described.
Learning how to settle
you're learning
down.
a new system that's an actual, real NFL
Kicking
tangible
bad
system.
habits. He had a lot of bad habits year one.
His line is improved, but not great still. His weaponry is improved, but not great still. He's
Travis,
still
we're
learning.
talking about Ben Brown beating out Bradbury.
Right.
What was the first thing said when Bradbury was signed?
Right.
We were hoping that was going to be the
That was a
one
check
mark
Yes.
of consistency,
Yes.
dependability. We can speak to what he's going to
That's
bring.
right.
And then everything else we'll figure out.
Yes.
That's not even a check mark at this point.
Well, no, it's not. And by the way, this offensive line isn't a check mark at this point in totality. It's just better than it was last season because last season was the worst it could be ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not great. So you're still dealing with this if you're Drake Maye. You're still learning a new system, as you said, developing footwork, as Greg talked about, and some of the nuance of the position. Touch pass, that's part of it. The dude has a rocket launcher arm. He has to learn how to put touch on the ball. So a lot of the things that I think Greg was complaining about in that snippet, I get, but it's also like you're complaining about stuff a veteran quarterback should have down pat. This kid is still young.
Yeah.
He's still in his embryonic stage of development. I'm willing to work through that. I have seen enough. What I've seen that tells me franchise quarterback. Let's just have that conversation. Big, strong arm, smart, can move, good leader. He checks every box. So the things we're complaining about here, the detractors of Drake Maye, it's like, dude, these are things he's still learning. That's the point.
You have to give him an appropriate runway for development. You have to take, and it's not to coddle him, it's not to make excuses, but to come into the year that he came into, he was never supposed to be declared the starting QB last year. He had a pretty decent preseason from, I wasn't here, but from what I heard, all the reports that were coming out, and he still didn't secure that starting spot in the first couple of weeks, then pivots into that starting spot while things are just kind of going up in flames, and there wasn't any sort of realistic approach to developing him while all of that was going on. It kind of goes back to what I was just talking about in trending. Arch Manning, coming out at the right time is important because then you become this glorified backup QB because you didn't come into the league at the right time. You didn't have the right development behind you. And it's kind of painful to see some of these QBs that should have had much better futures that are just getting weeded out. And I don't think that that's Drake Maye's future. Not saying that that's what Greg's saying by any means.
Right.
I'm more so harping on the fact of like the 11 wins. I'm not sure how we really got there to stand on it as strong as some people were. 9 was already kind of a little bit of a dance and a stretch, and if we've learned anything from any team in Boston, you don't discount some of those teams that aren't the sexiest, but if they've got 1 or 2 dynamic players that can shake things up, then you're talking about uncomfortable games that can easily be lost.
Yes, I think that's well said. I also think you need a quarterback whisperer in these systems. It's not necessarily the head coach, although it can be. Like, for example, we'll see if Ben Johnson and Caleb work out now.
Right.
But if you look at Jaden Daniels and his rookie campaign and the success that he had Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Drake Maye now has Josh McDaniels, who we think is a quarterback whisperer, but like he just got him 5 seconds ago. So you have to look, if we're sitting here at the end of another 4-win season, I guess.
I don't think it's going to be that.
And I don't either, but I'm just saying, if we're sitting here at the end of another 4-win season and Drake Maye does not look good and he looks lost in Josh McDaniels' offense, then I'm ready to start having some conversations.
Yeah.
But you and I just don't believe that. But to your point, our ceiling wasn't 11 wins any damn way.
No.
We were at 8, 9 wins, best case 10, and that's best case. And I just don't think we're there. We have to give this kid time is basically translation of what Casey and I are telling you now.